Hello everybody and welcome back to Pie Puzzles. It is Saturday morning and therefore the Saturday paper has been released with Liam Runnalls' most recent puzzle. I thought I'd get onto this straight away. I'm a little short on time, so hopefully I can get this done. Let's go. Nicely, the Saturday paper presents its cryptic online, so I don't need to do any setup. So let's start with one now. True statements in commercials about time. Adages. So an adage is a true statement, I guess, or a statement at least. And a commercial is an ad, and that's around time, which is age. So 7 across. Rattle for Prince's gig. Interesting. DIS for princesses is dies. Princess die. To rattle is to a gig. What's a 7-letter word for a gig? Disconcert. There we go. Concert for gig. 8 down. Disfigurement on International Queen is more horrifying. So when you see a comparative like more, you think it's probably going to end in ER, and indeed, well, hang on, there we go. The Queen in the clue is the ER. So disfigurement will be, more horrifying is the definition. Disfigurement on International Queen. So that will be scar for disfigurement, and international is I, and more horrifying is scarier. If I was solving that myself, I think I would have just thought directly of a synonym for more horrifying, but yeah, there we go. Summer clothing and winter gear resident unpacked. So winter gear is ski, resident unpack is RT. So if we take out the letters of resident, we unpack it, we get R and T, and a summer clothing is a skirt. 10. Old man's iPad rang somehow without internet. Well, it looks like grandpa. And yeah, so iPad rang is an anagram of grandpa with the I in addition. So internet is being removed, I being an abbreviation for the internet, which I think is an odd one, I guess, but maybe that's an ISP, for example. I'm always a bit uncertain about whether, I don't think it's the case that a word can be abbreviated to a letter just because it appears in some acronym somewhere. So ISP, meaning Internet Service Provider, doesn't imply that that I is a valid abbreviation for internet, but it may be regardless. 2. Takes dog for a walk and is winning. 3, so the middle letter of that. Takes dog for a walk and is winning. That's probably that. Oh, that is disconcert, right? I thought for a second this could be leads for something. I'm not sure. Not sure why anything's going to mind there. I can't think of a word here that would. So there seems to be an A or an R or an O or an L. There's lots of things, I guess. Let's come back. 3 down. Stormy afternoon around cold beach. Well, this looks like an anagram of afternoon around the letter C for cold, and that would give us a word for beach, or a name of a beach, or to beach, but I can't. And there's the C, so the rest would be afternoon. Ocean front. Yeah, there we go. Nice. It's a nice word. Ocean front. 4 down, dismiss medic over surgery. That is drop. Medic is DR, an operation is an op, or a surgery, and to dismiss is to drop. Show Pamela briefly strangling Roger pointlessly. So that is going to be program. Is it? Well, yeah. I was thinking for a second, why is program show? But of course, the television program is a show. We've got Pam around the outside. She is brief, so Pam, and she's strangling Roger, ROGER, but without the point. That is the E for East. So we get rid of the E, we get program. 5 down, fear of Latin land say. Okay. Not sure what that is. I think maybe say is a homophone indicator. I mean, a Latin land being spelt differently. Not sure about that. Greek goddess caught in the rain. Well, that might be hard as well. It's going to be a Greek goddess, presumably. Caught can be a C, and then a 3-letter word for rain. Wet comes to mind, but I can't imagine that being a goddess. It could be. Let's see if we can get... we're going to struggle here, actually, if we don't get something in place. Heated aluminium for Heroes Prize. Well, this feels like metal. But heated aluminium. Heated. Maybe it's not. There's a possibility of hidden, I suppose, but no. And what kind of metal would you have here? Wow, okay, that's annoying. 14 across, complimented apartment and emptied the wine with an F. So flat for apartment, and therefore flattered is complimented. So emptied the wine. Emptied the is the word the without its middle letter, TE, and then wine is red. So that does look like metal. I'll put it in and have a look at 16 across. Emu horse treacle cooked, 564. Okay then. This is going to be interesting. Presumably an anagram of those letters. Wow. Just trying to think of what the first letter here is. M makes some sense. H T curse. I don't know what to make of that. Because it's an and lit, so the whole thing is going to mean, like the surface reading is going to have some direct relationship to the meaning of the answer, but it's hard to understand what that might be. Gossip merchants, bad old habits, avoiding hospital. So that's going to be an anagram of old habits without the H. Old habits. And it's a gossip merchant. I need a pen and paper, which I don't have. Let's just put in the letters on the screen. so this is I didn't know this word actually. I want to say this is a, now that I put it in, it doesn't seem right. I think I thought of an IST word and then thought, diabolist. But maybe that is right. Is there a D in this one? Yeah, there's no D there, so that doesn't seem likely. It seemed like such a nice possibility. Someone who's like, well, let's keep the letters in at least. I'm run out of time here. Let's try to get some other crossing words. 25. Herb is a foolish person. Gosh, Allah, what are you doing to me? Dill. I was thinking, I had this instinct that there was a herb that kind of had that kind of connotation about it. It took me a second. 19 down. Must have left vitamin in syringe. Left vitamin. He often refers to vitamins as like the letters, like A, for example, and you've got LA at the end there. So is there a 6-letter word that means syringe? That would mean that must have has to be at the start. This 4 letters would be must, probably. I see. This is needle, the obvious word for syringe, and it's vitamin E. So need is must. 22. Late starters in our virtual education room didn't understand etiquette, so this is overdue. Just the starting letters of those 7 words. This is coming together as not diabolist, obviously. I wonder if that's a word I don't know, or I'm just missing something obvious. Budget's an awful mess for German Parliament. Yeah, well, how do you spell this? So I forget how to say it all, but it's the name of the German Parliament. So NTAG, TGNTAG, so that leaves, I think it's Bundestag. Apologies if that's not, and the B would make sense as well. Well, I knew it was a B. Because it's definitely something starting with a B. Bundestag, pretty sure that's right. This is something the lead takes dog for a walk and is winning. Why can't I think? Well, that's definitely grandpa, right? Grandpa, yeah. And this is definitely to disconcert. Holds the lead. Okay. Now, any closer on this with old habits without the H? Old habits. BOD are gone. So, BADOLITS. OLITS. Okay. 23. Direction to decapitate brute. So that's east. A brute is a beast, and we're decapitating it to give east. 26. Some progressives plan a design for pedestrian-friendly zones. Wow, it's quite a clue. Is that going to be? It is. That's quite the find of the hidden LR. Well done. Esplanades, so which are pedestrian friendly zones, and they are hidden there within that esplanades. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 word hidden. You don't see them very often. 15 down should be helpful. Try granola recipe disdainfully. So I presume this is arrogantly. Get this right. A-N-T-L-Y. I think that's the anagram we're looking for. Loser reflecting on jump with hesitation. So know something. Reflecting on is no. Jump with hesitation. So there'll probably be... this is no hoper. So hop is jump and hesitation is which might feel a bit weird for non-cryptic people. Emphasize tension. So that's stress. That's a straightforward double definition. Seen that one a few times. 20. Rapidly swallows angel cakes every second. So it should be every second letter of that. Necks, to rapidly swallow is to neck. 17. Got away to Midwest Headland with latest boyfriend. This is escaped. So headland is a cape. Midwest is the middle letters of west, ES, and latest boyfriend is the last letter of boyfriend for D. So we're getting closer to this long one across here, but crucially that letter there is missing, and we don't have any starting letters of any of the words, which is usually very useful to have. Considering pros wear baseball mitt like this, on the other hand, on the one hand, interesting. So on the one hand means considering considering pros versus cons, or just considering, I guess, maybe, and then pros wear baseball mitt like this. Anyway, you see how that's coming together. So we are left with these ones that are a bit confusing. Let's try this again. 5 down. Fear of Latin land, say. Terra. Right, so the Latin word for land is terra with an A. We're spelling that wrongly. The say indicates that, homophone indicator. Maybe this is wecht. Somehow that word doesn't look entirely wrong to me, but but it just feels more likely to be something else. Zeus is not a goddess. This letter here, so this metal, aluminium, is that AL for hero's prize? I mean, what's hero? Because prize in itself is a metal. Do we need hero as part of the definition or as part of the wordplay? That's a confusing set of clues there. I'm stuck, Jerry. So let's take another look at this. E and L. What are my letters? Emu, horse, treacle. There we go. So that, I think, is going to be a very cool clue. Well, I thought for a second that the 3-course meal, emu, horse, treacle, cooked. Oh yeah, I thought for a second that the 3 words were going to be types of courses, like race course and golf course or something like that, and so it would be rounded out that way. But still, that's quite a fun clue. Tabloids. It's not an everyday one to think, or kind of structure of a word to think of, but of course gossip merchants are tabloids. So we're left with these, which I think I might be stuck with. If this was wecht, which seems ridiculous, then this would be something T something metal. Maybe, no, okay, so maybe it's a prize and there's a particular medal, like, you know, one of the niche medals for a discipline. I'm trying to think of the one for there's one for maths. Anyway, not important, but I'm going to try to think of another way of saying in the rain. Or do I look up wecht? I can't see that being right. And of course, I'm showing off my ignorance of all things historical because it's probably the most obvious Greek goddess, but I can't really even think of one. Yeah, Fields medal is what I was thinking of for maths. Oh, that's an L. I mean, maybe there's some. I mean, heated. That's also interesting. I mean, that can't abbreviate to H, can it? Or heated aluminium. Does that have another name? Yeah, this is not, I don't understand this clue because if the definition's prize, then heroes has to be part of the wordplay, and I don't see how medal is playing into that. If heroes prize is the definition, which is, hang on, war medal. Aluminium is AL, it's at the end there, I should have noticed that, and then warmed is heated, and a hero's prize is a war medal. Right, now, interesting. So now we've got this Greek goddess caught in the rain. Well, you know, usually caught is a C, and it would have to go inside a 3-letter word for rain, starting with EA. Ending with EA, and I don't think that's going to work. Hang on. Well, I think this might be Hera. There we go. That is correct. So I've not heard of that goddess, but I suddenly realised that this is possibly hidden. So we've got H-E-R-A. So caught in is telling us that the word for our answer is caught inside the following string. So the rain contains Hera. Interesting, I never heard of that, but there we go. And so somehow, despite a few hiccups, we've managed to get over the line, and I've managed to make my breakfast date. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope that was fun, and I enjoyed that. I'll have a closer examination of this later on for some of the highlight clues, and possibly put 1 or 2 out as a clue of the day. Until then, happy crosswording. I'll catch you soon.